day 18. This was another good and challenging one. And this really hits home for me. Just talking about idols and the idols that we have in our lives and in our society. And I love how she starts out just asking if we even know them when we see them. And the thing that she said in here specifically about us thinking that the ancients, those stories that we read in the Bible about the golden calf and other idolatry and worship of other gods, how we can so easily see that, but then kind of naively think that we don't do the same things now just because we don't call them gods. And I thought that that was actually really insightful. There are so many things in my life that I know are idolatry at the end of the day. Sorry if you're seeing, the video is probably blurring because this is what's happening. I'm trying to talk to y'all and somebody wanted to get in the way because he wants me to pay him attention. Anyways, Asher, I'm over here talking about idolatry and you over here trying to make me focus on you. That's you trying to be an example. Anyways, what I was trying to say was I can really relate to what she was talking about in regards to idolatry and recognizing it in our daily lives. And especially this part where she talks about different places where we actually do kind of have idolatry in our current lives. You know, she talks about Hollywood and stuff like that. I think sometimes about some of my friends who are super into certain musical artists and they're so obsessed with them and they spend more time thinking and talking about them than they do about God. And I'm not judging them, but it's just an observation that they get so passionate about music and artists and different things that they're doing or going to somebody's concert, but not quite as passionate about going to church or reading the Bible. So this part that she talks about, find your way to the South in America, and you might just think it's God's country, when in fact the country is God. That was really impactful to me. If you don't know, I grew up in the South, and even though I'm a SoCal girl now, I can definitely relate to this, where I think sometimes, especially as Americans, we almost make our country a god in a way, versus realizing that God is God no matter what country you live in, and he doesn't favor one country over another. He created us all. So before I get off on a tangent on that, I'd love to hear what you guys thought of today's devotional. And I really love how she ended it talking about Paul, and where Paul really talks about really the purpose of our lives is to find God, to find him, to be closer to him, to know him. And if that is our focus in each and every day, then idolatry should be something that we can identify quickly and remove from our lives. Because even Paul admits, as she highlighted here, that Paul here, even though he called out the idolatry of others, he said, here it says, which frames for the idolatrous ones the illegitimacy of their and our objects of worship. And so I love that. That really stood out to me because it reminded me that even Paul admitted that he had idolatry in his life, and it was something that he battled. And so even though he's calling out others, he's not perfect, and neither are we. So I'd love to hear what you thought about this devotional for day 18.